Greetings YouTube and welcome to a short video where we do a little speculating. Now this can be a dangerous thing because if it works out, great, and if not, it feels like clickbait. So I want to say off the top that this is a hope of mine for Cyber Monday, but I in no way am guaranteeing this. In fact, if you go back to my videos before July 4th, I thought it would be a good time, given that we saw for the first time in the months leading up to July 4th, 6-star signature stones, that we would get a 6-star awakening gem. Of course, July 4th came and went with no 6-star awakening gem. And there are still quite a few people out there who told me, Prof, there's no way that we're going to see a 6-star awakening gem before the end of Act 6, and maybe that's true. But I have been sent this screenshot by a couple people, most recently the summoner Magnus, who has asked me to do a video on this because they said, Prof, why would this be a thing if it doesn't exist? And my answer is, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So let's look at how to get points in this new event that sometimes pops up because it says use a 6-star Mystic Awakening gem. Now, of course, those don't exist right now in 2019 yet. But one would think, given that 2020 is probably the year that we will see the first 6 stars taken to rank 3, that it's about time for 6-star awakening gems to start proliferating themselves into the game. Now, I do not expect them to be cheap. We have seen in the past 24 hours that 5-star awakening gems still have the price tag of an American $70, or for those of you in Australia, over $110 Australian, given the screenshots that were sent to me. So the conversation is starting to kind of ramp up. I think that the 6-star awakening gem, if available on Cyber Monday, will only be for the 15,000 unit price tag threshold. This is going to be one of those final items, maybe thrown in with some of those really annoying tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystals in the last part of that tier deal. So normally you have like 1,000 units, 3,000 units, and or maybe it's 2,000 units, 3,000 units, and 10,000 units. Either way, the whole thing adds up to 15,000 units. And the biggest prize, of course, is the final tier, which is the most expensive. It's the 10,000 unit threshold, and that would be where the 6-star awakening gem would pop up. It would not be in the Odin price, certainly, no way. Particularly because they've moved to the limit 3 system, so that makes it perfect to have things that are divisible by 3, like the tier 5 basic catalyst, which has 15,000 fragments per, so you buy 3 of them, you get a fully formed tier 5 basic, and then along with that, maybe a tier 2 alpha, a 5-star basic crystal, etc., plus the 3,100 units that come with the Odin. Either way, it's an interesting discussion. I will not confirm this because it's impossible for me to confirm this and it's irresponsible for me to confirm this, but it is interesting that that line now exists when you click on certain milestones for events. So are you looking for the possibility to see a 6-star awakening gem come out in November? I hear from people all the time who say, Prof, I don't even care about this because there's no 6-star in my inventory that's even worth the awakening, and knowing how hard it is for me to get a 6-star crystal, my roster may not have a 6-star to awaken, even if there's a generic gem attached to it, for a very long time. I totally get that, but at the same time, wanted to make a below 5-minute video on this, and we're at about 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video and say thanks again to Magnus for providing the screenshot and the discussion for the community. Have a wonderful Sunday.